the web, and welcome to the first ever episode of Geeks. My name is Sean Hussey, and joining me today are my fellow co-hosts, Sarah Cassery
Hello.
and Sean Cyber. Just to give you the layout of our show, Geeks is a YouTube channel that covers all things geeky. We have 3 episodes per week to cover Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. Today is Marvel Monday. Also, we'd like to remind you that all these episodes were previously recorded, and that some of this information may be outdated or revised when this video posts online. Now, on to our first topic. Usually our first topic is always about the movies. We discuss major movie news and a story idea or theory for an upcoming movie that one of us had. This week we're doing a little something different and we're reviewing Ant-Man with no spoilers. So Ant-Man came out last Friday, so just a couple days ago. I have gotten to see the movie. Sean and Sarah have not yet. But I want to talk a little bit about it without giving away any spoilers. For me, this movie was really good. A lot of people were saying it was the best Marvel movie in a long time. You know, it was, the top Marvel movie. For me, it was probably about my 4th favorite, behind Cap 2, Avengers 2, and Guardians. Marvel has really been pumping out, really good movies recently. I know a lot of people, like or disliked Avengers 2. I personally thought it was really good. Sean and Sarah, what did you guys think, because you guys have only seen the trailers, what are you looking forward to most about this movie?
I don't know. He's a small man.
He's Ant-Man.
I think it's gonna be cool when he's going down to size with the ants.
The visual effects look
Yeah, the
great.
different
I think what
perspectives
is cool
gonna be
though
good.
is that he's a tiny little guy running, and then boom, he's big and he punches people. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. He's a big deal.
Also just to know, if you guys are going to see this movie, there is 2 post-credit scenes, so stay through all the ends of the credits, because you guys are not going to want to miss that second post-credit scene. It's been leaked online. I'm not going to discuss it, but I'm just saying it's really worth it. Some of the things that I didn't like about the movie so much, and this is a common thread through the Marvel movies, the villain was a bit underused. Yellow Jacket's a really cool character, really different spin-off than in the comics, because in the comics,
Yellow Jack.
he's a Yellow Jacket.
Yeah.
Does he have bees? Does he have control over bees?
No, actually,
Plants?
no.
Any type of bugs?
No.
He
That's
acts as.
Well, in the comics, as many of you know, Hank Pym, after many years of being Ant-Man, eventually became Yellow Jacket during a, mental struggle phase that he had. That's not the case in this movie, as many of you know from the trailers. As I was saying, a common thread throughout the Marvel movies is weak villains. I think Ant-Man did a pretty good job with Yellow Jacket.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How would you defeat them if they weren't weak villains?
Well, I mean, as a character,
Oh,
they're weak, not the villain itself.
That just means
You make a team
better
like the
actor.
Avengers.
Right.
You should
I
make
mean,
it.
standing aside other than Loki, who a lot of fans really like, Sarah included,
He's captain.
Loki is probably one of the most memorable villains in a lot of movie franchises.
He caught an arrow. Not
He
many
did.
people
He
can
did.
do
He
that.
caught Hawkeye.
He did
Yeah,
caught it.
Dylan.
But-
Hawkeye was like, oh no.
He's right.
Then he fell in the building and Hulk smashed.
What are some things you guys are worried about the movie, though?
Ant-Man?
Yes.
I feel like someone's gonna step on him. Just to be completely honest, I feel like just because he's so tiny and he's gonna be running through just such big obstacles.
How does a bug not eat him? I mean, there's bugs everywhere.
He has the ants.
So what do you think?
Yeah, he has an ant
Oh,
arm.
they-
Like a
wait. They actually listen to him?
Oh, yeah. That's part of the whole
Oh,
Ant-Man,
yeah.
persona.
That's actually pretty
The
good.
ability to
Ants
control
are
the
actually really deadly.
Right.
They will
Exactly.
kill you.
That's why he has colonies.
Our production manager, Jack, has actually seen the movie. I'm not going to ask him to say anything on it. But him and I saw it. He really liked it, too. Out of 10, I would probably give it an 8.5. Jack gives it a 9. And one more thing I want to add is, they were saying how Ant-Man was, going to be very funny. as a Marvel movie, I thought it had some really quick, really good jokes.
Oh, like
Yeah, I thought Guardians personally was a lot funnier than this. Peyton Reed did a great job, especially with the whole Edgar Wright scandal. And I definitely recommend you guys go see Ant-Man, not only as a standalone movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but also as a Marvel continuation of the story and a great way to close off Phase 2. All right, on to our theory this week for a Marvel movie. I actually have the theory this week, and it really has to do about where does Marvel go after Phase 3?
They remake the movies because there's the next generation.
I
and
wasn't
everyone
finished.
loves money.
Okay.
Well, as many fans know, Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet will be the end game for the Avengers come 2019. So, if you have that end of the world situation, where does the story go on from there?
Zombies.
Especially with contracts being finished and some Avengers dying probably by the end of Infinity War. I personally think that since Fox owns rights to some of the other world-ending villains, like Galactus or the Skrull Army, etc., that the MCU cannot go bigger than Phase 3 going into Phase 4. I think we could be going back to the early stages of Phase 1, where character development was very important, and we can start introducing more characters and maybe try new types of solo movies. For maybe characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye, or a spy thriller going inside S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, no, wait. Black Widow and Hawkeye, in Avengers, they're like, this is
That was
just
a
like
really good
Cancun,
comparison.
right? That's what
Yeah.
They need like origin stories behind that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, well, actually, I would probably end up making something.
Some characters that might be around for a long time will probably not get solo movies, like Falcon, even though I personally love Anthony Mackie as the Falcon. Great character. Unless like in the comics recently, he becomes Captain America, which isn't what it appears to be setting it up.
He doesn't have the super strength and speed, and he doesn't have the thing.
Well, in the
like
comics
people think
recently,
Iron
now
Man
during Secret Wars and such, the Falcon is actually a mix between Falcon and Captain
has
America.
a shield and wings.
Yes, and the whole red, white, and blue.
That's cool. He's got like soccer paint.
As for some of the original characters from the MCU that might be able to stick around, I think Iron Man 4 could still very much happen, especially since Robert Downey Jr. really enjoys the role of Iron Man.
Yeah, but he's like kind of old now.
What is he, like in his 40s?
No, 60. No, 50s?
60s?
I think he's in his mid-50s.
Yeah.
Jack, can you check that for us?
How old is he?
Thank you.
See, wait, no, I don't know. See,
I think he's
I haven't
mid-50s.
seen Iron Man 3, but like, I've
I'd
heard.
say
Actually, wait. I've seen parts of it.
Okay.
I've heard it's not one of the greater movies.
It wasn't.
No, so like.
He's 50?
55.
Alright. I was closest.
So like in Iron Man 4, unless they made like how he made the suit,
Which
or
they
like,
did in Iron Man 1.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
in the
no,
first Iron
no.
Man,
Like they never went through like.
They did his complete origin story.
Well, they never really did like a how he made a reactor from a box of scraps.
That would be kind of interesting.
That would be like a short.
But for Iron Man 4, if Robert Downey Jr. continues into Phase 4, they've been referencing that there is a real Mandarin out in the world. As many of you know, and this is some spoilers for Iron Man 3, the Mandarin that was supposed to be the main villain turned out to be just an actor working for Aldrich Killian. And it disappointed a lot of fans who really loved the actual Mandarin from the comics. And in a short, in the Thor Dark Below,
Thor.
the Dark Below,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My mistake. In the Thor the Dark World Blu-ray, there was a Marvel one-shot where it shows the guy who was the Mandarin getting actually escaped from prison where the real Mandarin wanted to talk to him. And there's actually a reference, which is an Easter egg, if you guys can spot it, to the Mandarin in Ant-Man. So it's really showing that the Mandarin is actually out there in the world, and I think that's definitely something they want to explore further down the line. So anyway, what do you guys think where they're going with Phase 4 of Marvel?
What is Phase 4?
It's gonna be hard. I
It's
mean,
after Avengers 3.
especially especially the older fans who read the comics as kids and are really expecting the movies to be just like the comics, I think it's going to be hard to live up to those standards, especially with new generations coming.
Please. Wait a couple years and remake the movies.
You're sticking
A lot
with
of
that?
people are saying that they're probably they might actually recast a lot of
Actually,
these
maybe like a
core
Wonder
Avengers.
Woman
Like
thing.
Thor as a woman.
Maybe they'll make no. Why would Thor be a woman?
Because she's in the comics.
It's
No,
in the
no,
comics.
no. No. What about Thor? Wait, does he ever have a kid?
Loki
No.
becomes a woman.
What?
at
But he's
one
got
point
his
as well.
like girlfriend on
Yeah,
Earth.
Lady Luck.
Wait. Is a human-looking person from Asgard not compatible with a human from Earth? I don't know.
Alright.
I
Well,
don't- I don't
I
know.
mean,
What
even
about
looking at
Wonder
this
Woman?
poster that we have right back here.
What if
it's a
they
great
made?
poster.
Yeah. What if they made like a origin story for Wonder Woman? Oh no, she's DC.
Wow.
Okay. We're
Um,
not talking DC.
Alright.
DC's Friday, Sean.
Maybe
Looking up on the board, all of these characters have either appeared or will appear in the MCU. Captain Marvel and Black Panther are coming in a couple of years. The rest of these characters we've already seen on screen.
Who's this?
Captain Marvel.
Who's he?
She.
Who's this?
Hawkeye.
Captain
That's
Marvel
Hawkeye in the
can't be a
comics.
she. It's Captain. Well, actually, no.
That's
I don't
that's
know.
sexist.
You don't usually see that. I would actually.
It's like
be
the Wonder.
interested.
It's like the
Yeah.
Wonder Woman
Nobody
of
knows.
Marvel.
It's got the name Marvel. Where do you get the name Marvel?
Well, actually, the origin of Captain Marvel, which we're going off topic a little bit here, is actually from the Kree, which I'm not sure if Marvel owns the Kree or not, because Fox owns Skrulls.
Aren't the
but-
Kree dead?
No,
Wait, which Kree?
the Kree are an alien race.
Yeah, I know. Which one was it? Was it the one from
They were-
Avengers or?
They weren't in the
Thor?
MCU yet. They haven't been in the MCU. Actually, the Kree have been. Ronan the Accuser from Guardians is actually a member of the Kree. So
Oh,
Marvel
okay.
does own the right to Kree, and if you guys watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there are a lot of Kree references to that and the Inhumans. But in the comics, Captain Marvel is a captain from the Kree army who is Mar-Vel, and Captain Marvel gets her powers from him and thus becomes Captain
So
Marvel.
wait, her name is pronounced Captain Marvel.
Well, the Kree
Mar-Vel.
soldier is
Oh.
Marvel, and then she becomes Captain
So
Marvel.
she's a Kree soldier.
No,
No?
she's a human who gets powers from a Kree soldier.
Oh yeah.
Mind blown.
All
Yeah,
right.
It's confusing.
Going on here, we have our second topic that we like to do, which is our Battle of the Week. This week, Sarah brought a really interesting battle to the table. Who do we have this week, Sarah?
Loki versus Doctor Strange. Now, this is interesting. I mean, I know I do like Loki a lot, but even from like the actors, I don't know. I think it's
Benedict
great.
Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange.
That's gonna be weird. Tom Hiddleston and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Pretty strange guy.
He's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Loki
Sure, a
has
lot
some
of fans
pretty
out there.
interesting powers. Yeah, he has shape shifting, astral projection, molecular rearrangement, eldritch energy blasts, illusion casting, flight, telepathy, hypnosis, and teleportation. While on the other hand, Doctor Strange's powers are a little bit different. Strange's magical repertoire includes energy projection and manipulation, matter transformation, animation of inanimate objects, teleportation, illusion casting, mesmerism, thought projection, astral projection, dimensional travel, time travel, and mental possession, to name a few. The full range of his abilities is unknown.
All right, Sean, who do you think would win this battle here?
It's a tough one. I mean, Loki's Loki.
We've seen him in the MCU. We haven't seen Doctor Strange yet.
They're working on it.
I like seeing some cartoons with him.
November 2018, I believe, was Doctor Strange.
Oh,
I can't wait.
Well, let's see.
Or 2016. No, I'm sorry. I believe it's November
I don't know.
2016.
I still can't
That's
wait.
a tough
Neither do
one. That's a very tough one. I mean, like Loki's just Loki.
Everyone
He's
loves
got his spear, stab people, and then like he can make holograms of himself too. So yeah, but then Doctor Strange, he's just Doctor Strange.
So what do you think?
So Sean, I don't know. I say it's a tie. Both evil
We're
people.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
We've got a dog.
We have our mascot here.
There's some-
No, I'm showing the dog. Sarah, did you say yeah, or I'll go next?
She would say Loki. Of
You
course.
say Loki. You said
Yeah.
Tie.
Ty.
What?
Wow.
They're both pretty good.
All right.
I think Doctor Strange has more powers.
But Loki's Loki.
He
Loki
has
could
super
call up
immunity.
Thor for all Loki.
He could just trick Thor again, like in Thor 2.
Yeah, but
Come
Thor's a
on,
little.
I need your
Thor's a
help.
little.
Well,
Thor's
know,
a blonde.
Thor's not the brightest bulb in the bunch. He's all brawn. Very little brain. For me, I gotta say Doctor Strange on this one. I think that final sentence alone says that the full range of his abilities is unknown. We've seen Loki. Tom Hiddleston as Loki is great, but we're not really going off the MCU right now. We're going more off the comic books. And Doctor Strange has done some pretty amazing things in the comic books. I really can't wait to see how the MCU treats his character. Very strange, as the name implies. But I just think some of these things, I mean, both Loki and Doctor Strange have astral projection, but I mean, Doctor Strange has dimensional travel, time travel, animation of inanimate
If
objects.
he has time travel, he can just go back in time and kill everyone who's
Wait,
trying to fight him.
Doesn't Loki have that thing that he can? Oh, that's not. Okay, never mind.
But I think Doctor Strange has this one in the bag. So, Sean, we gotta have a tying vote. You said it was a tie, but who do you really think could win this battle?
I don't know. I've never really seen Doctor Strange too much, but yeah, maybe Doctor Strange too.
All
But
right.
like Loki's an immortal though, technically. Well, sort of.
Technically, gods can die.
Yeah, but like he's harder to kill.
That's
Does that mean like he is a god?
He's above the game.
He's like a god who can die.
Maybe. All right. So
So
Doctor
yeah.
Strange has won this battle at the Genius Geeks table. We want to know who you guys think would win this battle. Let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear your answers. And next week, we'll share who won the battle between Loki and Doctor Strange. Our third and final topic of the week is called Everything Marvel, where we basically talk about anything that exists in the Marvel Universe in any form, such as comics, movies, video games, toys, books, merchandise, you name it, and it's connected to the Marvel Universe, we'll talk about it. This week, Sean has our Marvel Universe topic. What do we got, Sean?
Well, we got, is Odin alive or dead in the MCU?
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So, for those of you who haven't seen Thor 2, just a little careful for some spoilers here. Skip ahead, a minute and a half, if that. Basically, at the end of Thor 2, Thor defeats Malekith, the Accursed, and Loki is presumed dead. And Thor goes back to Asgard, obviously upset about it. Speaks with his father, who's still on the throne, and he says, you know what, I need to be back on Earth for a while. He starts, he hangs out with the Avengers up until Age of Ultron. We've all seen that. And Odin's like, okay, son, you don't need to be king yet. I'm all right. And Thor leaves, and in a last second glance, Odin holographically becomes Loki. And Loki smirks, he starts to laugh, and he says a couple words. I forget exactly what he says. But, it proves that Loki is now sitting on the throne of Asgard in Odin's place, pretending to be Odin. Now, there are a couple ways you could take this. You could say that, Odin is dead, Loki killed Odin. Obviously, Loki faked his own death. Or that Odin is still in the Odin sleep, which is a mystical sleep that Odin has to go through once a year to regenerate his power so that he can protect Asgard. In my opinion, I think Odin is dead because Loki wouldn't, be able to have taken the throne so easily during Odin's sleep. I think Loki had to kill Odin, especially due to his hatred for him. What do you guys think, though? Sarah, do you think Odin is alive or is Odin dead?
I think he's dead, but I just don't understand. I think Marvel would have wanted to show Loki at least killing Odin, unless they wanted purposely us to make our own theories about it.
And Sean?
I don't think Odin's dead. Loki easily impersonate him, and Thor wouldn't see any difference. And Loki just wasn't at the throne at the time.
But then where is Odin?
Cleaning, going over reconstruction work. I mean, they did just get hit by a couple ships.
That is true.
Doing
Asgard is
political
in pretty
stuff.
bad shape.
Yeah. I
But-
mean, their giant shield generator got broken. There's a bunch of prisoners that escaped.
That is true. I think also Loki was supposed to have a cameo in Avengers Age of Ultron. For those of you who didn't know, it didn't make the final cut, obviously. Now, it was just recently announced that Joss Whedon would not be releasing a director's cut of Avengers Age of Ultron, but deleted scenes would be available on the DVD, which we'll be purchasing, and we'll watch the whole deleted scenes. So we don't know exactly where Loki would have been in Avengers Age of Ultron. Presumably, at the start of Thor 3, Loki will be still sitting on the throne of Asgard. Whether Odin is dead or not, I'm sure that'll be addressed. Maybe it won't. Sometimes Marvel overlooks things. You know, like Tony Stark losing his, core thing and then getting it back some magically how in Avengers 2, but let's ignore that. So, that is basically where we think. So I think Odin's dead. You think he's dead, and you think he's alive?
Yeah.
All right. So that concludes our first episode of Genius Geeks. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video and subscribe to our channel for weekly videos. We have another Star Wars video coming up on Wednesday, and then a DC video coming up on Friday. Make sure to follow us on social media at genius_geeks. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Links to those accounts are in the description. Also, make sure to comment on this video. What did you think about all this stuff? Do you think Odin is alive? Do you think he's dead? How about our battle, Loki versus Doctor Strange? Let's see how that comes out in the polls. Thank you guys again so much, and for Genius Geeks, stay geeky.